Hello, how are you doing? I hope you're well. I'm out on a bit of a mission today, something a bit different. I've been increasing my exercise just to get some exercise in, really. There's always one clown in the bunch, isn't there? I had this idea a little while ago about doing a marathon, but doing it in a bit of a different way. I'm calling it the Ground Zero Challenge, GZ Challenge if you like. What that means is you start from home, you go out and do a mile, then you do the same mile back. Then you go out in a different direction, do another mile, then do the same mile back. Do that 13 times, you've done a marathon. So I'm no runner, I'm walking it, but I'm not actually going to do a marathon today, I'm just calling it a challenge. So I am currently on my 9th mile. I've done 8 miles so far. And what I like about this challenge of doing a mile out and a mile back and doing it that way is you watch. If you've got it set to lap at a mile, it buzzes. You don't even need to pay that much attention because your watch will tell you when you've done a mile. As soon as you've done that mile, turn around, come back. And so far, I've found this really straightforward and quite easy to do. I can tell that I'm now on my 9th mile. I don't think I have purposefully walked 10 miles in a day. By the time I go back, because I'm on the outward one now, by the time I go back and reach home again, I'll have done 10 miles. Been quite busy today with traffic knocking around. It is a Saturday. I did actually do one of the laps out was into town. So yeah, that was quite busy too. Anyway, the point is, I've kind of lost the point there. I forget where I'm up to. I'll come back in a minute. As I say, I've never purposefully walked this far before. And my initial thinking was, would it be possible without training to actually do a marathon walking? Having done what I've done today so far, I think I'd rethink that. I can feel it in my shins, in my hips, and in my buttocks at this moment in time. I can tell that they're telling me they've been busy, as you might imagine. I think today it'd be kind of cool to hit the half marathon mark. And there's no reason, I can see no reason why I shouldn't be able to do that. Advantages of doing a marathon this way or training this way and going a mile out and going a mile home is if anything happens, if you hurt yourself or anything, you've only got a mile to go to get home, max. So it's not bad. Also, if your ground zero is home, you can use that as a stop-off point. Call in, go to the loo, grab a drink. You don't need to carry any water with you or anything because you can just stop, have a quick drink, a quick slurp, quick snack, bit of banana, orange, whatever, and then get back out again. I do like the idea of doing things this way. And for me, because of where I live, there's quite a lot of forks. It's a bit like a hub really, a wheel hub, and there's quite a lot of spokes off that hub. So there's quite a few different directions you can take. And even off those, you can fork off if you had to follow the same one more than once, which I will have to do. You can still fork off at a different point and follow a different route. Right, I've just hit the 9 mile mark, turned around and I'm on the way back. One of the other things I kind of found interesting about doing this is finding out what's at the radial point on the mile mark for where I live. Seeing how far a mile out actually takes you and what's there. Yeah, don't ask me why I find that interesting. But if it's the kind of daft thing you'd find interesting, let me know in the comments. Is that the kind of daft thing you'd do? I am starting to feel this a bit more in my calves now and in my hips. I better watch myself. I'm sure you'd be interested to know I've let off some rare farts while I've been doing this. Now I've not got far to go until I reach home and I've hit the 10 mile mark. And I'm really starting to feel it now. And I am debating whether to continue. In my head there's this, you don't need to do it, nothing to prove. But then there's also another part of me that's going, do it, do it. It's just about to hit that mile marker. Let's just continue onwards, eh? Oh God, my legs are aching. I'm starting to really feel this in the top of my calves, you know where they connect with your knees, that area. Ooh. Back of my calves are starting to cramp up a little bit. I always think the Minster looks really impressive towering over the other buildings as you come down here. We've got Monkgate Bar. I am actually a little surprised that this mile has brought me all the way to the Minster. There we go, that's the 11-mile marker. Time to turn back for the 12th mile. And this might be the final one given the way my legs are feeling. Not many people know this, but there used to be a hole in that wall. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I think I'm going to have to call it a day at 12 miles. Oh, and the goal is coming into view. I nearly slipped on all those leaves then. That would have been a good end, wouldn't it? You'd have found it entertaining, wouldn't you? There we go. Just hit the 12 mark, just a short distance from home. It's always going to be a little variation because you always go just that little bit further just to make sure you're over the line. I'll have a look at the stats. I know I've done it in less than 3 hours, and that's probably why I'm aching. I reckon if I was sauntering this over a day, yeah, wouldn't be so bad, would it? With plenty of little breaks and so on. Well, this has been an exercise walk and a walking exercise. Home. Oh, that's better. Right, I don't care, judge me all you like. I need this after that. Okay, so that wasn't bad really. 12 miles in just under 3 hours, about 2 hours 52 I think it was, with an average speed of 4.2 miles an hour. I'm quite chuffed with that. As I say, I've never walked that kind of distance before, and I do have quite a good pace. I think that comes about from the power walking that I do with kettlebells. You might have seen a video that I did about that a long time ago during the first lockdown, I think it was. I quite like this idea of the ground zero challenge, the ground zero walkout, doing a mile and then back, a mile out and then back. Because ultimately, as a starting point for exercise, if you just want to do a mile, that's a mile out and back. You can, and that's just 2 miles. And that's relatively easy to do, so you can gradually build on that. Anyway, that's all for now. If you found this useful, if you've liked it at all, you know what to do with all the thumbs up and liking and all that kind of stuff. Thanks for watching. You take care. Cheerio.